Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Folks, it's our job to give you those issue tidbits in world of sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across. Isn't that right, Mike?
That's right. We bring it to you with our unique sense of humor and wackiness. You never know what you're going to get here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
That's right. We have a couple topics prepared for you this week in the world of sports, entertainment, and odd news. We'll hit those in just a little bit. But before we do that, we like to do a little personal bit, let you know what we've been up to in the past week or so. So, Mikey, my friend, how you doing? What's happening in Costanzo country?
A lot of TV. It was a
Yes.
It was a shut-in weekend because we've been battening down the hatches and everybody's been working hard in preparation of trying to get my brother married this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
it's a big weekend for Bruno, our long-lost associate producer.
I remember when Michael was a bitch, and now he's still a bitch. Michael's a bitch. Michael's a bitch. He is a bitch. Yeah, you know it. Woo!
He has to give a karaoke version of that performance.
Yeah, can you
at some
believe
point.
Can you believe that thing is getting married?
Oh,
no, we love you, JB.
that thing?
That thing,
You make
yeah.
it sound like he's a monster.
I mean, the clips are all the evidence you need, folks.
Yeah, you're right. That guy's getting married.
That guy's getting married.
Oh, this feels so good.
Well, that one is appropriate. It's going to be a fun time. It's just getting there. This, as you know, you just had one about a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
A month and a half ago. The final stretch is crazy, especially since they're both out of state. They're in Chicagoland. So trying to organize everything, trying to get them to organize everything, and then
that's very difficult. At least for our wedding, everybody was pretty much local, and we could organize everything here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and it's like you don't realize like that distance and what it does because people are trying to get answers and people are trying to organize things. My mom, my girlfriend have been working very hard to print out stuff and make centerpieces and all that stuff, and it's just constantly running errands to Michael's 400 times a day to pick up
a lot of times.
Flowers and paper and vinyl and everything else. Then I'm writing my speech and getting tuxes and helping out wherever I can. So it's been quite the procedure, but it's all going to pay off shortly. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yes. No, it will. It'll be a fun weekend coming up.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Congratulations to our long-lost associate producer, Bruno.
Yeah. And so while I was doing that, I just watched TV. I just watched all of Kenobi.
Oh,
all the Stranger Things. So I finally caught up on all these shows everyone is saying, you gotta watch. I did. Leave me alone. No.
To get off my back.
Do you ever find that everyone's like, because I do it to
yeah.
you all the time, like you gotta watch ... and you're like, okay, but
I
with
don't
like
have time.
17 other shows to watch,
and not to mention, not only do you have those recommendations, you have your favorite shows
Yeah.
that are coming back already.
Yeah,
like for me,
exactly.
I feel like every other week I've had a favorite show come back.
There's just too many to keep track of.
I had Better Call Saul coming back.
Yep.
I had Barry coming back.
Kenobi, Stranger Things, yep.
Peaky Blinders we're going to mention in
Yep.
the entertainment. That's coming up. Like
Yep.
it's just like I have to watch those shows before I can even think about a new show.
It's too much to watch all at once.
Rachel, she always...
And Marvel keeps dumping new stuff on us.
Yeah, that too. And Rachel, she's one of those people, she prefers TV over movies.
Yeah.
So she's like, Rich, you should watch this. And I'm like, I can't start a new TV show right now.
Dude, right, you have to pick and choose at a certain point.
Movie I can watch. A movie's a 2-hour...
It's a one-time commitment. It's not like get ready for the next 6 years of your life to watch this same show intermittently.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like a movie is fine with me because you get through the it can range from 90 minutes to
I like
3
the
hours.
90-minute jams nowadays in my older years.
If it's good enough, the story can be contained that quickly. But yeah, like it's like that. Okay, I can handle that, but I can't handle 10 episodes an hour long.
Right now, my mom keeps recommending The Expanse on Amazon, which I know is really good. Got to watch it. Everybody highly recommends it. It's like 7 seasons. I'm like, where am I going to find the time to sit down? Same thing with like The Sopranos. I'm like stuck at the end of season 2. I just don't have time to all the new stuff coming out. It's like, should I watch Kenobi, which everyone's talking about, or
Yeah.
a 20-year-old mob drama?
Kenobi, yes. Kenobi
Yeah.
definitely gets to the front of the list. It's so good.
So I caught up on some TV though.
Okay, very
But
good.
so that's basically what I was doing. But it was hard for you to catch up on TV this weekend because you were busy for 24 hours straight. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Yes. So this weekend was our big event, the 24-hour game show marathon. It was me, Corey Anatato, Chris Shakarian, and Bob Haig.
And those guys have been on the podcast before.
Yep.
Talking about game shows, talking about the game show marathon.
Yep. We got together this time in person, which was such a relief because we kind of did a couple of things on Zoom and stuff, but it wasn't the same.
It's never the same.
It was so much more fun to be able to host the event again in person, to physically do it at LaSalle, bust out their TV studio and use that space to be able to host our own game shows. We did 24 game shows, 24 hours, all consecutively, very little sleep, but all in the name to raise money for the charity called Child's Play, which
boy, did you raise it.
Yes, and we were blown away by the final total. We hit $11,000.
11?
Yeah.
So somehow there was more in the last time that you told me the figure.
Well, I was telling you. So I told Mike the story when we officially hit 10,000 because that was during
Right.
Deal or No Deal, which is our traditional last game to play.
Yay!
And there was just a lot of drama that went into that final game. Because we had people in the chat room that were saying we're going to match whatever you actually win in that Deal or No Deal game. And it got to the point where it was 15, 16 people all saying they were going to do it. And it was just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing that, well, one, that many people are, that generous.
yeah.
And then just the amount of money being raised is just insane.
Yeah, it was very humbling, and we're just very grateful that we had such a faithful following. I mean, we had a consistent stream of people that were watching us and interacting us in the chat room, and
I was on for a bit watching, what was it, Millionaire and The Wheel, which the Crispy Noodle sponsored.
Yep.
And Concentration and some other stuff, and the chat was active the entire time. Donations kept flowing in. The participation was awesome. I mean, you guys put on a spectacular production, and it shows with the amount of money you guys raised. I remember, I think I went to a few early on, like the 4th or 5th one or whatever it was, and you guys were raising good amounts of money, $3,000-$4,000, but $11,000.
yeah,
That's a completely other realm.
right.
That's
This did not feel like this is a number that we should have generated.
well, you guys set the goal too low.
I know we didn't.
You guys
I
got to
mean,
start up in the ante here.
We thought,
coming off the pandemic.
yeah, there was a lot of factors going into it. I mean, literally, I mentioned this on the broadcast. A couple of months leading up to this game show marathon, COVID was spiking again.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is known as being one of the most strictest cities when it comes to COVID regulations and stuff like that. We had legitimate fears that this wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So the fact that we were able to actually have this work, and we got the green light to host it at LaSalle. That was another thing. We weren't sure, we didn't know if LaSalle was going to have us back.
Right.
This COVID thing threw a lot of things, out the window. We had a couple sponsors that don't exist anymore. There was a lot of question marks going into this. So, we had our expectations kind of low. We were just trying to focus on that this was going to be our year that we were coming back and we were all going to be back together and everything like that. But the donations that we received was just so humbling and just so amazing that we were even in the ballpark to even consider a 5-digit number.
Yeah.
And, you know, I told the same story too when I had my sporadic appearance on Preston and Steve last week. And, you know, Steve said, you know, yeah, you guys can hit $10,000. And I was like, yeah, but like, I was like, I don't think that's going to happen. But the
But
game show community and the fans of the 24-hour game show marathon proved us wrong and just completely wowed us with their donations. And it was just such a great experience. I'm so proud of everything that we've done and just how the whole broadcast went. If you are interested, apparently the whole broadcast is available on Twitch, and you can actually visit like certain game shows. If there's like a game show you're interested, how we did it, how we pulled it off, you can go right to that hour of the game show.
I know
marathon.
I want to tune into some of those early morning ones. I was not awake at 3, 4 a.m., but you know, from years past and the stories you've told me, they always end up quite interesting.
Yeah,
So-
the 3 o'clock hour, I hosted a game show called Quizmania, which requires people to call in to answer questions.
Oh man.
And we actually had people call in, and I was so just amazed that people were that interactive with us and
Wow.
wanted to call the number and try and answer our questions. And it was crazy. It was beautiful. It was
Crazy and beautiful. That is
yeah.
the perfect way to describe it.
Yeah, so all in all, just a fantastic weekend, and we're so happy that we're able to raise that much money for Child's Play. It's a great cause. They give toys and video games to kids that are in hospitals and shelters across the country. I mean,
One of
it's-
my favorite charities.
yeah.
It's
So
fantastic.
I am, and as well as the game show marathon peeps, we are so thrilled that it was such a success and that everybody just gave so much money, and we have a very good amount to give to Child's Play.
Yeah, and I'm always super excited that the Crispy Noodle was able to put its tiny stamp on the whole thing, you know, by sponsoring a game every year. It's, you know, it's the least we can do. I always, you know, really appreciate that we're allowed to be a part of it in
Yeah.
some small way.
So there you go. That's what I was up to this weekend, the 24-hour game show marathon. And actually, I believe the link is still open for this week if you want to make a last-minute donation as well. But right now, we're looking at an $11,000 donation that we're giving.
Get those donations in, guys.
Yep. Because at some point we have to close the link and we have to
Actually
finalize.
give the money to
Yeah,
Child's Play.
we got to finalize the funds. So, but the fact that we're already comfortably at 11,000 is just amazing.
It's amazing.
So, just a stellar weekend for us here in Philadelphia. Okay, how about we get to the news at hand? We've covered our personal news, so let's go to the news topics. The first batch revolve around sports in the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
In your face. Ha ha!
Sports coming at you in your face, and we're going to hit a couple topics in 2 minutes or less with the 2-minute drill. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right, there you go. What do you got, Mike?
All right, this week in the 2-minute drill, we have an NFL retirement party. That's right. Party. 2 long and successful NFL careers came to an end last week. NFL journeyman quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, otherwise known as Fitzmagic, officially hanging it up after 17
The
seasons.
glorious Fitzmagic. I loved him.
I mean, you look at his career, he was a journeyman, but he's done some remarkable things. He never lasted very long in one spot, but he played for 9 different teams. He started for 9 different teams, the most by any player in NFL history. He also is the only NFL player to throw both a touchdown and an interception for 8 different teams. And he's also known around the Philly region as being an Eagle killer. He's the only player in NFL history to throw a touchdown against one opponent with 7 different teams.
Wow. Fantastic.
Every time Fitzmagic rolled into town, you knew we were getting our asses handed to us.
Yeah, I just loved watching him play.
You never knew what you were going to get. You were going to
Yeah.
get a 4 touchdown performance or a 4 interception performance.
Yeah.
You just never knew.
Still the single season passing touchdown franchise leader of the New York Jets.
Jets. Jets. I misspelled.
You misspelled a 4-letter word.
Yup.
Who
Moving
else,
on.
Who else retired?
So Frank Gore.
Gore. Yay.
Gore. Frank Gore also officially retired after 16 seasons, quietly positioning himself as one of the best running backs of all time. Excuse me, everyone. He is currently the 3rd all-time rushing leader in both yards and carries, trailing only Hall of Famers Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton. Hall of Fame career for Frank Gore?
Absolutely.
He has to, right?
Yeah, I think he's got 5 digits as well for total rushing yards.
Yeah.
Amazing career. And there you go. 2-minute drill coming to an end with a couple of retirements there.
But someone else should be retiring, apparently.
Well, yeah, this guy didn't get retired. He got fired.
Whoops.
Over the week since our last podcast, Phillies former manager Joe Girardi got fired after just posting a horrible record. I mean, it was this. We mentioned this last week. He had the same record or the same amount of wins as the Baltimore Orioles had, and the Phillies have a payroll that's $200 million more than the Baltimore Orioles.
Did we do that? Did we get him fired by talking about it? I think we did.
Well,
No.
I think all of Philadelphia was kind of calling for some change.
Yeah.
There had to be something to get a statement across this team that you guys are being paid the 4th most in Major League Baseball. You can't have the same record as the Baltimore Orioles. That's pathetic.
It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
Yep. Well, I think the message was heard loud and clear because after Joe Girardi got fired, the Phils then sweep the LA Angels in the next series. Interim manager Rob Thompson is right now doing pretty good with those 3 victories. And then because of that sweep, the LA Angels then fired their manager.
Wow.
So it's
what
been,
like a domino effect of like different things.
yeah, it's like a weird like game of tag of firing your managers.
Joe Girardi being terrible is going to get so many managers fired all of a sudden.
At this rate, yeah.
At this rate, yeah.
So sorry to the LA Angels that we caused chaos on your end of the baseball spectrum.
Whoops.
That really doesn't make any sense either, because
I mean, how are they doing? What's their deal?
yeah, they've been
good, bad,
they've been on
indifferent?
a 11-game losing streak, I think,
Oof.
at one point.
Yikes.
So having a sweep against the Phillies didn't help either.
Nope.
So it's been a little bit of a rough road for the Angels there. I wonder if the Angels are going to sweep somebody and then that team fires their manager.
It would be great if the legacy continued.
right. It's like
Until it makes it all the way back to the Phillies,
and
we have to
Rob
fire
Thompson gets fired. The interim manager gets fired.
It's the circle of life, Rich.
That
It's
would
the
be-
baseball
that-
circle of life.
That would be impressive.
Yeah.
It's like this weird game of tag or something.
That would make baseball way more interesting.
Yeah.
Like if you get swept, you get fired.
Right there.
That
sorry.
should just be a rule. Like when they change the rules, like instant replay and managers get fired if they get swept.
3-game sweep.
Boom.
You
done.
get fired. It's a weird, I don't know, quirk or
Those are
something.
the rules we just made up.
Yep. And that's what we're gonna do. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. We had like a domino effect. So we'll see. We'll see next week if maybe it continues.
Yeah. Yikes. Be careful, everyone.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to football, but not really the topic that I think the NFL wants us to talk about. We got bigger problems with Deshaun Watson. This is really getting out of hand. I don't know if the Browns knew what they were signing up for.
They had to. Maybe they didn't. Because
this is getting worse and worse by the week. Now we're up to 24 women.
Right. Since we last reported, there was a 23rd woman and a 24th woman coming forward against Deshaun Watson. And like I've always said, since this whole thing started to, come out, if it's one person, if it's 2 people, I don't know. 24 people?
Yeah.
Like that is a number that's really hard to ignore. People can try to ignore it, but it's really hard. 24 women, but this also came out today that Deshaun Watson sought at least 66 massage therapists over a 17-month period.
How many massages do you need?
Well, that's the thing. It ain't just massages.
Apparently.
So a quarter of those women are saying that something happened. 2 other women tried to press criminal charges. 15 other have gone on the record and spoken to papers and done interviews and are not suing him, but speaking out against actions that he took directed towards them. This is looking really, really bad.
Yep.
Also, we mentioned before the show, crimes were actually committed because happy endings are not legal.
Not according to his lawyer.
Everybody kind of forgot about it. They're like, it was consensual. It doesn't matter if it's consensual. If you have consensual sex with a hooker or if you're getting a happy ending, guess what? It's still not legal.
According to his lawyer, it's fine.
I mean, maybe it's a gray area because, it's like a one-on-one type deal, but...
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Usually I don't break that out until the odd news.
Yeah, right? But this story is so troubling, it might as well be odd news.
Yeah.
Why has the NFL not done anything yet?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's the big glaring question. Like, we talked about this before the show. Calvin Ridley bet $1,500
on one proposition
bet. Suspended a year.
Yeah.
Now we've known for about a year that 20-some women are saying, hey, Deshaun Watson pushed himself on us, was sexually inappropriate, did a whole bunch of stuff, and crickets.
And this has gone on now for a year and a half because he was out all of last season.
All of last year, yeah.
And that was from the team.
From
that
the
wasn't
team,
from
right.
the NFL. So
And speaking of the team, you brought this to my attention as well.
Yep.
He used official Houston Texans NDA forms
Yep.
for the women and also used team resources like hotel rooms that the team had purchased.
Hotel memberships,
Hotel memberships to conduct these massages. Now, all of a sudden, the Texans are kind of on the hook. Like, were they aiding and abetting this behavior?
Yeah, whether they know it or not.
And remember, folks, everyone's like, well, what if they find out that he did nothing wrong legally? That doesn't matter for the NFL. The NFL is a private organization. They can do whatever they want to do. It doesn't have to be illegal, right?
Right. And
Calvin Ridley, what he did was legal. He
Yeah.
placed a proposition bet. They suspended him one playing season.
Yeah, because he
For
placed a bet.
$1,500 bet. There are 24 women accusing Deshaun Watson of sexual misconduct, of inappropriately touching them, displaying himself, masturbating in front of them, for pressuring them to do sexual acts. Nothing. Why?
Yeah, and this is something that I don't understand. The NFL by now should have had a decision out because right now teams are starting to get players back for summer camp and training camp.
Deshaun Watson took vacation to Bahamas.
Yeah,
with his teammates.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson says he's going to lead a team building exercise.
Just in terms of optics, I cannot think of a worse possible way to handle this situation than how the Browns and the NFL are handling it right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the NFL is waiting for at this point. Now, with our luck, they're going to make the announcement, Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, when
they will officially suspend him for one season.
Yeah, they'll announce it tomorrow when this episode gets processed and released on
if we want something
YouTube
to happen, we
and
just
Facebook.
have to talk about it. I've learned this. It's pretty much, we've been like batting 1,000 in that.
Yeah, so probably by the time this comes out, you're gonna hear about it, I guess. But nevertheless, it just seems just so weird that the NFL is dragging its feet on this, that they haven't completed their decision.
It seems pretty clear cut, right?
I mean,
if you're a commissioner, this is a no-brainer.
Watson has to be suspended a year.
Like minimum.
Because Calvin Ridley made a bet and he got a year. Like, come on.
Yeah.
There's
like, this is a no-brainer, right? If you were commissioner, like, this is the easiest layup. It's like, oh, you always go on and on about supporting, women's rights and, how the NFL is, a league for women as well. Here you go.
Now,
it's just a little chip shot right there.
Now, what's really worse about this, and I think this is the more insidious part, and this is why I think the Browns, no matter what they do, they're the scum of the league as of this point.
Oh, yeah.
Is the fact that they made the guaranteed money all pretty much signing bonuses.
Right.
If he gets if Watson gets suspended, the only thing that actually gets hit during a suspension is your salary pay. But what the Browns did technically in the big contract was they put all the money, at least most of the money, in signing bonuses, so that if a suspension does come down and he's out and he's suspended for a full year, only like $1 million is technically listed as his salary. That's the money that gets thrown back to the NFL, not any of the $40 million a year.
Yeah.
So no matter what, Watson still gets his money.
I saw that figure. Yeah, he's losing I think his first year is like $40-some million, and he's getting like basically 98% of it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, ride the bench for a year.
I wish there was can the NFL like be like, no, don't do that? Like, I think there should be something
There
that the commissioner be like, that's not right.
there should be something, right? Because it doesn't pass the sniff test. Like, this is really scummy behavior on the Browns.
And
part.
I'll tell you what, whether or not you think that teams are doing this consciously or subconsciously, I bet you the other 31 teams are making a effort, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, to not give in to any of the Baker Mayfield trade rumors.
Oh,
Just
absolutely
guess
not.
what? Guess what, Browns? You made this bed. We're gonna let you sit in it.
If I were a GM, I'm literally sitting on my hands and just waiting and watching. And if I were Baker Mayfield, you know what I would do? Sit and watch as well.
Yeah, you guys made this bed by going after
Like
Deshaun Watson.
Baker Mayfield can single-handedly tank this team this upcoming season.
Yeah.
Because, mark my words, Deshaun Watson is not playing more than like 6 or 7 games. He shouldn't play any.
He shouldn't play.
He shouldn't play at all.
If
But
Calvin Ridley is out the entire year, Deshaun Watson should be out
look,
as well.
Ezekiel Elliott got 6 games for hosting a party during COVID. Ray Rice got 8 for beating up his girlfriend. Deshaun Watson, 24 women, sexual misconducts. You know, like it's gotta be the season, right?
I would imagine it has to be. And
It would be absurd if it's not.
yeah. And with that in mind, I mean, you have Baker Mayfield, who is like, you MFers,
Yeah.
I led you. Baker Mayfield led the Browns to a playoff win against the Steelers, their rival.
Look, he's not a terrible quarterback. He's a serviceable quarterback, and he's got them to the playoffs when they haven't been to the playoffs in forever.
Don't you think that's so embarrassing that the team was like, we would rather go after a rumored sexual predator who might even be suspended a full year and willing to give him guaranteed money than even discuss a 5th-year extension with you?
That's really messed up.
I tell you what, I'm with you. I hope Baker Mayfield
I hope
like,
he
you know what?
just sits on the bench.
No, I'm good.
He's like, I got a bum knee. Can't play, coach.
No, shoulder. He had a shoulder injury.
Shoulder is a shoulder injury?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my shoulder's acting
I
up.
got a
Sorry.
bum shoulder. Sorry, can't play, coach. Just sit on the bench, collect your millions, and then just
Sorry.
walk.
Sorry, my bum shoulder's acting up again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Some team out there will give him a decent
I got COVID.
yeah, cough, yeah. Someone out there will give him a decent starting shot because he deserves it. I think Baker Mayfield deserves it. So if he just bides his time, he'll get out of Cleveland.
So I don't know if he gets a starting gig, which is kind of
No?
sad.
Really?
That's the worst part. Baker Mayfield does get hurt in the middle of all this because you got to think about this. His tactical move is probably going to be to screw the Browns out of this season.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, he's not
try to force a trade.
At the very least, he's not going to play willingly. He is upset with what the Browns have done.
Oh yeah.
So
He didn't go to the Bahamas.
yeah, right. Yeah,
So-
he didn't go for the team building exercise. You're right. So I think he's looking at he's going to have a season where he's not playing a full season. So because of that, when he hits the free agent market, you know, people are going to be like, well, he hasn't played a full game in a year.
There's still previous tape. Look, people keep taking shots on Wentz.
Yeah, but once played.
Did he?
Would you rather
Played?
have? Would you look? You got to look at it from
He put gameplay on tape.
Yeah, like I hate to say it, but reps are the valuable commodity when you're dealing with average free agent quarterbacks.
I'd take Baker Mayfield over Carson Wentz.
That's an
Maybe
interesting jump.
maybe over Hurts as well.
Oh, whoa, wait, what?
That's another.
No,
That's another.
are you serious?
Well, Hurts isn't the future.
Or, all right.
What?
Right now, are you dead serious? You would rather take Baker Mayfield than Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, why not?
Oh,
Look, the Eagles have
I don't know about that.
not right now, but maybe next year. I'm not willing to commit money to Jalen Hurts. If he balls out this year, maybe, but I don't see him as the long-term solution. I would prefer them go draft a quarterback, but
Okay,
this is a separate conversation.
Yeah. What? Yeah. I don't. Okay. So
I'm just saying, there's quarterbacks out there that Baker Mayfield could easily replace. Could reasonably replace.
And right now, you would go with Baker Mayfield and Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, maybe.
How very non-committal. I don't know. You kind of lobbed a grenade there, and then was just like, oh wait, did I do that?
I think that Baker Mayfield took a worse team on paper further than Jalen Hurts did with the Eagles. The Eagles have one of the best offensive lines. They have playmakers.
Browns did too.
Offensive lines?
Yeah. Browns had that year that they went up against the Steelers and beat them in the playoffs. They had a really good offensive line, and they had
Keywords: beat Steelers playoffs. Eagles did not win any playoff games. They barely made it in.
Okay. But they also had Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one.
And
that's probably the best 1-2 running back.
Eagles had Dallas
punch.
Goedert, Devontae Smith, and Miles Sanders.
But they were all kind
As well as
Miles Sanders.
as well as
Miles Sanders is not a good comparison to Nick Chubb.
Okay.
And Kareem Hunt.
The Browns running backs were better, but the Eagles arguably had better weapons on the outside, as well as I think a better offensive line. The Eagles have one of, if not the single best offensive lines in football.
All right, how about this? We're starting. Let's say there's some.
I don't know why.
Let's say there's some. I don't know. Fantasy draft. I don't know. Whatever. Jalen Hurts or Baker Mayfield. You can choose one of those two to start for the Eagles right now.
Baker Mayfield.
Really?
I don't.
Oh.
Jalen Hurts doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have the timing. He doesn't have the field vision. He runs into sacks instead of away from them. He is more of a liability, a la Michael Vick, minus the arm, than Baker Mayfield is. Baker Mayfield is an average quarterback. Carson Wentz, as we learned, was an average quarterback. Nick Foles was an average quarterback. They didn't make mistakes. They took the team far. Jalen Hurts is not that right now. If he balls out this season, it's a different conversation. But right now, what I've seen after a year and a quarter, I'm not sold. Baker Mayfield has more gameplay, more reps on tape, where he's done more consistently than Jalen Hurts. Everybody picks out random stats. Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback to run for 100 yards and pass for 100 yards when the moon is in its waxing phase and aligned with Jupiter. I don't give a shit. Is he winning games in convincing fashion? No, he's a running back. It's the same argument with Mike Vick. He's a running back with a decent arm, and his arm's not that decent.
There you go. Mike got that all off his chest, just like a WIP caller.
Am I wrong?
I think
Maybe I'm not 100% right, but I'm not wrong.
you're not 100% wrong, but I don't think you're 100% right either.
So you like Hurts better than Mayfield?
Right now, I think you have to. I would rather roll the dice with Hurts definitely and see what he can do with this team that has more chemistry. They're going to have I think they're going to have a little bit more success this year. I think this is a year you roll the dice with Jalen Hurts and you see what he can truly give you.
Oh yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. This year's set in stone.
Baker, I think Baker at this point, I think he's going to turn into a bridge quarterback.
You think?
I think he's on that path where, he kind of
team brings him in for a year or two,
Yeah.
trains up the young guy.
Yeah, I think he's more destined to be like a Teddy Bridgewater, something like that.
I mean, I definitely see that as well. Here's the thing. On paper right now, removed from like in like a weird like perfect world scenario, I think I would take Baker Mayfield, but I also at the same time agree that we should give Jalen Hurts another shot just because it just makes sense. He's already here. Like you said, he already has the chemistry. Like, obviously, nothing is happening. I'm not calling for the Eagles to trade for Baker Mayfield.
Right.
I'm not calling for them to cut Hurts.
But I'm trying to get you, like, on a list. Like, if you had to list the quarterbacks.
If I had to list them.
You would put Baker over Jalen
right now, in terms of just talent and what they've accomplished, Baker Mayfield has done more, and I think is better with the football than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts really just has the running going for him, right? Like, he can't threaten with his arm.
Not yet.
He can't complete passes to an entire side of the football field. Like, that is a huge problem. Now, from what I've heard, he's made a lot of progress in the offseason. He's completing a lot of passes in, all the OTAs and all the team, practices. I want to see it translate to the field. If he has a breakout season like Wentz did in his second season, then I'm all for sticking with Hurts. But last season, he did very little to convince me, is all I'm saying. There was a weird sort of... But here's the thing. It's not an easy decision.
Yes.
Between... What music are you playing?
I was getting the bed ready. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Because we do have to
We
exit
do
out
have
of the
to
subject.
get out of this. I mean, the point is Deshaun Watson sucks. Baker Mayfield is like average, and Jalen Hurts is a question mark.
Right. I just don't know where he's going to end up, really, as far as
Mayfield
I'm
or
concerned.
Watson or Hurts or all three.
I think Jalen probably has a good shot to do well with the Eagles right now, but we'll see.
I hope so.
Deshaun Watson, I think he gets suspended, and then Baker, I don't know where he ends up. I think he sits out this season.
The one thing I
in
will
spite,
say,
and then I don't know who's willing to pick him up.
a lot of teams already have young
At least
guys.
as a starter.
Yeah, well,
I mean, maybe
to your point, a lot of teams already have young guys they're working on, or they have established veterans. There's very few teams that have a hole at quarterback.
right. Like I think if he comes in as a bridge quarterback, I think that's where he fits in.
Yeah,
But we shall see because
it's a mess in Cleveland.
yeah, it is a full blown cluster F.
It's a train wreck.
Yeah, in Cleveland right now. But with that in mind, I will properly now raise up the music bed and we can take a break. But don't go anywhere because we got a lot of entertainment news. We're going to go over some TV things coming back. And I've got some crazy odd news stories that you need to hear. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
Yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Rocking and rolling. We're done sports. We got our liquids refilled back up.
That's right.
I had somebody ask me, I think it was during the Game Show Marathon, somebody asked me, like, I noticed you have a break on your show. What do you do during your break? I'm like, we need to fill up our waters and just get ready for the second half of the show.
Literally only like a 2 to 3 minute break, if that.
Yeah, it's our halftime.
What do you think we're doing? Going and playing video games or having a catch outside, ordering food? Guys, it's 2 minutes. Have you
Well,
tried?
that's what we do on the Game Show Marathon. When we
okay.
have our breaks, we're ordering food.
There was a time, once upon a time, on the Crispy Noodle Podcast where we would take legit half-hour breaks.
Well, that's because we weren't doing this in real time. We
No.
were, we were just an audio podcast.
Yeah.
So we would just record the segments at a time.
Right. And you remember, we would end a segment, we would literally get up, have a snack, would talk with my parents or JB when he was still living at home,
Yeah.
and like for half an hour, and then we'd be like, oh, we should get back and do entertainment.
Whoops. Yeah.
That's why those podcasts were 2.5 hours.
Yeah, whoops. Yeah, we lost track of time on those. So
Yeah.
now with the video feed, we're trying to do it in real time and trying to maintain to a consistent...
We're trying to be disciplined.
Right, we're trying.
You know,
we're
we're
trying our best. I mean, it doesn't work out all the time, but that's what we're trying to do. So with that in mind, we do need to get to the next segment of the show, which is the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, there you go. It's time for the entertainment entree. And with that, we're going to do the segment where Mike is going to let you know what's coming up this weekend with movies, TV, and video games and stuff like that with Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got for us?
All right, first up in theaters, I am so excited. Jurassic World Dominion coming out this week to theaters. It's doing okay from critics.
It's still good. It's still good.
It's still good. It's still good. Look, I mean, we all know where the Jurassic World / Jurassic Park franchise stands at this point. It's not terrible, okay? It's like a solid 6, right? But I'm still going to go see it because it's dinosaurs on the big screen, and you can't tell me you don't hear that music, you don't hear that T-Rex roar, and it doesn't move you a little bit. Kind of like the Star Wars opening crawl, or there's like certain sound bites from cinema that just move you. And Jurassic Park is one of those films, I think. It is the 6th and supposedly the final film in the saga. We'll see, because
nothing's final anymore.
People love money. So there may be more, but right now it's the final one, and as such, it's a special event. They're bringing back the entire original cast. Sam Neill, Dr. Grant is coming back, joining up with the newer characters as they all try to figure out money. That's right,
money.
But no, as we know from the last Jurassic World movie, dinosaurs are now like out and about, just in general. So it's all about how we find this new life with dinosaurs that are just roaming around in our wilderness, how we capture and contain them, how we, make a new world alongside dinosaurs now, I guess. So Jurassic World Dominion coming to theaters this week. I'm going to try and check it out at some point. I recommend everyone else do the same. If you can't make it out to the theaters, though, you'll want to tune in for some TV shows coming back this week and new ones debuting. Disney keeps the shows rolling with yet another new MCU addition in the form of Miss Marvel. I missed that this was coming out. It's a new miniseries debuting on Disney Plus this week. The show follows a new character in both the MCU and the comics. It's a relatively new character in the comics as well. Superhero fanatic Kamala Khan writes fan fiction and struggles to fit in when she discovers her own superpowers. So it's an interesting twist on a coming-of-age story where someone who is a fan of superheroes becomes a superhero herself. Are you reading the typo that I have?
Oh boy, what an amazing show coming up! According to Mike's rundown here, Mike, tell the audio listeners what we're.
So I wrote pesky blinders.
Oh, those pesky blinders. Oh, shucks.
All the pesky blinders.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, my God.
Those pesky blinders.
That's awesome.
Man.
Look, I type it on my phone, okay? So...
They got the guns.
They got the pesky... Why don't the blinders work, Rich? Why are they so pesky?
I know. You just can't get rid of them after 6 seasons.
You can't get rid of them.
So pesky.
So, Rich, tell us about the pesky blinders coming back to Netflix this week.
Wow, those pesky blinders. No, Peaky Blinders. Great organized crime show set in Birmingham, England. Cillian Murphy is just fantastic as Tommy Shelby. Just the smart, ruthless leader of the underworld family that he, that operates as a gang. The show is just so good. Some scenes are so just brutal, and the one-liners are great. It's just everything that you want out of a high-quality BBC drama. I can't think of a better way to spend your time on Netflix than with the newest season of Peaky Blinders, and I don't know if I think this might be it. I think this might be the last season. Maybe they do like this and then like a movie, but the story is coming to an end, so I think this is it. So Make sure you get your suits ready, suits ironed, and
This is the 6th season or the
Yep.
7th? 6th.
This
Wow.
is Series 6, yep.
Wow.
So I think this might be it. So we'll see how it all ends for Tommy Shelby and his family.
Okay, well, a very highly regarded show on Netflix, Peaky Blinders, coming back this week, so go check that out. And in the world of video games, a new month equals new free games for PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold subscribers. But the big news, of course, is that this week and next week will be the Summer Games Fest. It is the annual event that sprung up during COVID to replace E3. There's lots of different game conferences, live streams, lots of announcements happening, detailing upcoming games as well as new projects. So keep your eyes peeled and following your favorite video game outlets for all the big announcements that are sure to break over the next week or two. And that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, Mikey. Thank you for
For trying, I guess. I don't know.
Look, Pesky Blinders.
I think it fits. I'm just going to say Pesky Blinders. There you go.
Pesky Blinders sounds like the children's show, like they're trying to edit for the kids during daytime television. Like this isn't Peaky Blinders. This is Pesky Blinders. Yeah.
That's right.
Aw. Listen here. Give us the goons. Or we'll have your neck.
It's like little squirt guns or toy cap guns or something.
Give us the goons. We'll have your neck.
I'm just trying to make it family friendly, okay?
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring in larger audiences.
Pesky Blinders.
Pesky Blinders.
On BBC Children.
BBC Kids.
BBC Kids. Pesky Blinders.
That's a great typo. I love that.
There you go. Good job, Mike.
Anyway,
let's get to some. You know what? I guess we got it. You want to mention it? I
think we kind of have to at this point because it's finally
we've
over.
tried. Yeah, we tried to hold off on this because we didn't want to update you every week on this
It's too
superfluous case that everybody's just following. Here it is. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. The decision finally came down. Johnny Depp won.
Yeah, Johnny Depp won. The jury awarded him $15 million, and they found that Amber Heard did
defame
him in that article that she published. They also awarded Amber Heard $2 million in her countersuit, saying that Johnny Depp's lawyers defamed her.
So
it's kind of like a 90-10 split decision there.
Yeah. So
Johnny Depp
won.
Johnny Depp won. Yes. Yeah. What she won was, basically just the sort of pity, here you go. You were kind of sort of maybe a tiny bit.
Unfortunately, it's not going to help her.
No.
The latest I've heard is that she's going to have to declare bankruptcy. She doesn't have enough funds to cover this.
Was Amber Heard a popular actress before this?
Legitimately a little bit. I mean, she was in a couple films, Aquaman.
I've literally never heard of Amber Heard before she started beating up Johnny Depp.
Laid a turd.
Before she laid a turd, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, she's officially gonna have to declare bankruptcy. It seems because she doesn't have the funds to pay this settlement off.
Yeah. It's just such a weird situation for these two people. I mean, you have Johnny Depp, who was once such a bankable star, and his lawsuit alleges that article kind of tanked his career, and it really did.
It did. Yeah, he was kicked off of Pirates
of the Caribbean. Everything.
not Dumbledore. What do you call it?
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts.
He was supposed to be Grindelwald, and they recast that part. It's weird, because when the article came out and everybody started talking about Johnny Depp, the public discourse was all, "Oh, Johnny Depp is an ass. I can't believe he did this. Yada yada yada." They really did, the court of public opinion just removed him at all from Hollywood. So, finally it's great to see him, take this to court and actually be like, hey, my career really did suffer because of this.
Yeah.
Because of these false allegations. And then, as it turns out, Amber Heard here, who made the false allegations, her career is going to be the one that ends up kind of ruined.
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, she had a bit part in Aquaman and Justice League and, holding on to that for dear life. That's why she only got $2 million instead of $15 million, because Johnny Depp lost Pirates and she lost whatever
Aquaman.
Like they don't really compare, right?
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that Johnny Depp, won and that the truth came out, and it makes me feel kind of bad that I kind of like judged him in my own head for so many years before everything came to light in this lawsuit.
I hope that the thing that everybody takes away from this, which I don't think people will, I think people will still be just obsessed over celebrities, but I think the thing that I think people should take away from this is innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She wrote that piece and Johnny Depp didn't really have a say in it. And it turns out that, she was at least the courts think, not telling the truth in that hit, in what ended up being kind of like a hit piece.
Yep.
So you're absolutely right. It should reinforce in people that innocent until proven guilty. And there's a reason why we have those processes. And also don't judge someone or something based on what one other person says.
Yep.
Make your own decisions.
Yep.
So
and with that, yeah, I think Amber's going to be gone off of Aquaman 2 whenever that comes out.
Yep.
And speaking of weird DC entanglements, there's something that got breaking news this afternoon on the time that we're recording, and that is the fact that director Todd Phillips has confirmed that Joaquin Phoenix is going to return for the Joker sequel, and that it will be called Joker. This is French, so pardon me. Joker Folie à Deux. I don't know if I even said that right.
I mean, it sounded right to me.
So this is happening. He's already.
This is happening.
It's already been greenlit, and he's got a script, and it's gonna be shooting very soon. What is happening with DC? Please, I don't know. I'm DC. I'm trying to defend you, but I don't know what I can do to explain your logic anymore, because now you're going to have this separate Joker universe, Todd Phillips Joker universe. You have this alternate Batman universe with Robert Pattinson. And then at the same time, you have the current DC cinematic universe in which allegedly a report has just come out saying that they want to redouble their efforts behind Superman, which that's a whole big can of worms.
Aren't they also making like a Batman multiverse movie where they're going to have all the Batmen come back?
Yeah, that's going to be the Flash movie, because the Flash is going to be able to turn back time.
So
and
maybe they're really putting all their eggs in the Flash basket.
I hope
because
not.
they're like, if they put it all in Flash basket, Flash can just like bring in all the characters from all the. Is DC doing the multiverse too? You're a day late, dollar short, DC.
Honestly, I don't think that's the plan.
You think there is no plan?
I think there's no plan.
The plan is no plan.
And I think DC is just going to just have these separate universes.
They are blindfolded, spinning somebody in circles, and then having them pin the tail on the donkey to try and figure out.
Because DC is in this weird thing where they just didn't pay any attention, and they have successes on their hands. We've said this multiple times before. Yeah. Whenever DC doesn't have their hand in the creative pot, the movie does well.
Yeah.
So they decided to put our theory to the test with Joker and the Batman, and boom, they're both hits.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. You can either
now they're stuck because they don't know what to do.
You can either do it one of two ways. You can give your creatives complete creative control and end up with things like the Joker and the Batman, right? Or the Nolan trilogy, whichever ones you want to use as an example. The first Wonder Woman, all great movies. Or you can go the Marvel route and have a very micromanaged, tightly controlled, long plan.
Which
right?
DC can't do.
They
just can't do it.
DC's doing this weird in-between thing where it's like certain people can do what they want, but other people are going to micromanage, and then we're all expected to come together in the end. It doesn't work like that. If you're going to do Marvel, you have to do Marvel where you have one guy overseeing it, preferably somebody intelligent, and or at least kind of knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they have to oversee everything and make sure everything syncs up, and DC's not doing that. My fear now with the Joker 2 or Folie à Deux is that it's going to suck. Because from what I'm reading, there was no intent for there to be a sequel.
Yeah, Yeah, like that's another thing too. Joker, in and of itself, that movie just seemed like it was a standalone art project.
It was a standalone, right? It was an art project. And here's the thing: it was an origin story, a prequel. After the Joker originates, he is the Joker, and he becomes a villain to Batman. I don't understand how the Joker's just going to exist without Batman. I mean, I guess he can. I guess that's a thing, but. Like you said, why is it all these separate different universes for all these different things?
Yeah, it's just really bizarre.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really think the game plan is no plan. Just go ahead. You guys do your wacky little art film, make us money. Reeves that did the Batman, go ahead, do your detective fantasy with Batman. Do your things and make us money, and we're not going to get involved. But the one that they are involved, the actual established DC cinematic universe, that's the one. I have no idea what you're going to go do with that. Because now we have this report that they want Superman back, and it's like, there's so many questions. If that's the case, are you going to try and bring Henry Cavill back? Is it going to be a new Superman? Is it going to be a reboot? Is it like there's so many. Like that one just blows me out of the water. I have no idea where DC's trying to go with that. And of course, it fits the narrative because that's the one DC actually has their fingerprints in.
Yeah.
These other two, they're essentially letting the directors just do whatever they want.
You know, there's sometimes, like just now, I just thought, are we wrong? Like, maybe we're wrong for thinking that everything has to connect because we're so used to Marvel, but like you could have just separate superhero films and just make good superhero films, and they don't all have to connect. They can just be separate individual superhero movies. But then I think, no, we're not wrong because DC is really trying to make their shared universe happen. Like if they wanted to go everything is separate route, you can do that. But that's not what they're doing.
Well, it doesn't seem like they're trying
to do both. They're like, we have these separate films, but then we also have all the shared films.
Yeah. So it's
that's why
it's mixed messages.
Right. That's why I don't think that we're wrong. Because sometimes I'm like, why can't they just have a separate little Joker project? Because that's not the official messaging from DC.
Yeah, because now you want to make this a series, Joker 2, and
yeah,
the Batman has been greenlit for a sequel too.
So I don't know. I'm just worried it's going to suck. I really liked the first one. I thought the first one was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. To me, that seemed like a good standalone movie.
I don't know why everything has to be. Well, I know why everything has to become a series, but I wish it wouldn't.
Yeah, that's a movie that doesn't seem like it should need a sequel.
No.
I think you're good with just the one and done.
I think you hurt it by making a sequel. Some things don't need to have a follow up.
Yeah. So. Unfortunately, DC, I don't know what their internal game plan is, but to me, it seems like they don't have one. To me, it just seems like Todd Phillips, you do your thing. Robert Patterson, you do your thing, and then we're just going to focus on the thing that's branded the DC cinematic universe, and we're going to try and have the Flash bring back 2 Batmans. I don't know, whatever.
What a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Speaking of weird movie universes, you have Morbius news?
Yeah, this is just a weird sort of thing that popped up that I thought was really interesting. Again, studios that don't understand what they're doing. So apparently Morbius has become a meme online, and people think it's hilarious and it's funny. Sony saw this, and they're like, hey, people are really digging this online. This is what the kids are into. So Sony decided to re-release Morbius in theaters because it bombed the first time. And what does everybody think it did the second time? Because Sony thought that the memification was going to make it a hit the second time around. Nope. It bombed again.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yeah.
It brought in $85,000.
Which is pathetic for a major movie.
I mean, this is a movie that cost like $80 million to make, and it brought in $80,000 in its second run. So far, the movie's only grossed, I think the last total was, actually, I can just check right now. Box office total was $160 million. The budget was estimated to be up to $83 million. So they made back double, but in terms of superhero films, $163 million. I mean, these movies should. I mean, every new movie is like $1 billion.
I mean, if it's
box
quality.
office. Spider-Man made $1 billion. Doctor Strange is making hundreds of millions. Morbius is out here 160. That's nothing for a tentpole film. And in fact, it had one of the sharpest drop-offs in all of tentpole films. It's one of the worst superhero launches since I think it was some random superhero movie from like 2000 or 1997. Here it is. The second worst drop-off all time of a superhero movie behind Steel from 1997.
Steel Shaq.
And the worst of any tentpole superhero movie.
Oh my god.
Talking about its second week drop off in box office.
Shaquille O'Neal and Steel. Wow.
Yeah.
Judd Nelson, I think, is in that one too. I think he's the bad guy.
I don't know. God. I've never seen it.
It came on like TNT like all the time or something.
I have no desire.
And of course, they make fun of Shaq not being able to hit a free throw.
You're right, Judd Nelson as his rival.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and they have a scene where they trap Shaq as Steel in this room, and they throw a grenade in there, and he has to take the live grenade and he has to throw it back out, but when he throws it back out, it's in the shape of like a free throw. So he has to make a free throw to save his life.
So
God,
I don't
that
understand.
movie was bad.
Is this is kind of like tangential, but is Shaq? No, he's not playing himself. He is a superhero.
Yeah, there's a superhero called Steel.
Shaq can't act.
No.
Why did they think anyway?
Yeah,
that's a separate conversation. Although it kind of all fits into movie studios not really understanding anything sometimes, and Sony just completely missing the mark with Morbius here. The movie has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. Why in the world would they think bringing it back to theaters would make any difference just because there were some memes online?
Yeah.
Really, really upsetting to see from Sony, especially since they also, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop where they eventually pull Spider-Man away from Marvel, and that's going to be a heartbreaker because as we've seen, nobody else can do superhero movies except for Disney and Marvel.
Yeah.
We've gotten to that point where it's just DC can't do it, Sony can't do it. Just leave it to Marvel, guys.
No, DC can do it. It's just when they don't have any involvement in it.
DC can do it by not doing it.
Right. So
stew on that one for a little bit.
Yep. So there you go. That's all the entertainment news that is fit to print. With that, we have to jump to our third and final portion of the show. It's time for the non-fortune cookie news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing.
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda bastata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo, odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news here in this segment. Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird, wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing these stories for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Are we heading back to Florida?
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Oh, yeah, back in Florida.
I know my odd news.
And if we got time, I might do a pair of stories here. Because this first story is short, but I just love the mental image of this.
Okay.
In Largo, Florida. A Florida woman was arrested. Initially, after first, people said that she was just walking down the street using a rock to bang and carve her name into random vehicles down the street.
I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker, old style. She's not a Christian!
Yep, so she's just crazy Florida woman. I'm just going to walk down this street. I'm going to put my name on all these cars.
And she's just literally like chiseling her name.
Nothing better to do.
With a rock. And she's just.
Yes, with a rock.
Is she like scratching it or is she like like banging it to like chisel it? Like.
She is just having some fun. She doesn't like TV. She doesn't like movies. She doesn't like video games. But she likes just carving her name on the cars.
Interesting.
That's how she gets her
You know what it is she keeps hearing people say, well, I don't see your name anywhere on it.
Oh, then it's hers. Oh, there you go.
Right, now it's hers, exactly.
Aha. New Florida rules.
People can't be like, I don't see your name on it. She goes, it's right there.
Aha. There you go. It is now mine.
It's now mine.
All of these cars are now mine.
So she's just walking down the street. Now, wait, did you say she's clothed or naked?
No, she's clothed.
Okay, for some reason, I just assume odd news stories in Florida. People are. That is honestly my default. If I don't hear it, I just assume they're naked.
No, not.
Okay, so
she's not that crazy.
That might be weird. That might be even more strange.
Yeah, that she kept her clothes on.
Clothed, yeah. So she's just going around carving her name into cars.
Yep.
Okay.
So police identified her as 41-year-old Jennifer Kress. She carved her name in various driver and passenger sides of the cars down the street. Cops then were going to put her under arrest. When they confronted her, she then braced, tensed, pushed, and pulled away from officers.
I don't know why that phrasing made me uncomfortable. Braced, tensed.
Yeah, this is in the police report.
She's like, like I don't know why it just sounds weird.
Yeah, it's like a weird combination of like defense tactics or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, did that make you feel uncomfortable as well?
It is just very weird to note in the police report.
Braced, tensed. What was it?
Braced, tensed, pushed, and pulled away from officers.
Okay.
She then dropped to the ground and kicked an officer in the groin. Oh, no.
Oh, my balls.
Oh.
That's not good.
Oh, my balls.
Damn.
That's not good.
All she wants to do is carve her name into cars.
Yeah, she didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, that's how she gets her kicks in, literally.
Oh, my balls.
Cops don't like being kicked in the balls.
Yep.
It's not good.
At that point, then 3 officers then tackled her. She was taken into custody. While she was being processed, she then acted up again, at which point she bit an officer on his left forearm. Wow. She is very upset that you ruined her fun of carving her name in the various cars.
It probably would have been like a sizable fine, but now she's making it aggravated assault and resisting arrest, and this is going to end very, very badly for her.
Yeah, this is... well, here's the final tally. She was officially charged with criminal mischief, battery on a law enforcement officer.
Yep.
Everyone's making mistakes. I got to point this out.
Uh-oh.
On the NBC News article, it says batter on a law enforcement officer.
Batter?
She
throw some pancake batter at him.
She threw some... I don't know if I can get it on the... it kind of shows up.
Batter.
Yeah,
he's trying to get it on the video feed.
Batter. Like, I'm making a cake. Ah!
That should be a separate charge.
That actually, yeah. Right. If you get attacked specifically with cake batter, that should be this charge.
It's a batter battery.
Yeah.
It's a bad batter battery.
Right. Anyway, so the final tally is criminal mischief, battery on a law enforcement officer, and resisting an officer without violence. I think that should be another mistake. She did use violence. She bit the one.
Well, she also tensed.
Oh, yes, and don't forget about that tensing.
I don't know why that makes me so uncomfortable. Tensed and pushed, and it sounds like she's trying to take a dump. I think that's what it is. What'd you say? She tensed, braced, and pushed. Like
braced, tensed, pushed, and pulled.
It sounds like she's trying.
Oh no!
She braced. She tensed. She pushed. She's taking a poop. It's actual audio.
That might be actual audio.
I think
then.
that's why it makes me uncomfortable, because it sounds like she's trying to take a poop.
Yeah.
She braced, tensed, pushed.
All right. How about we play a little game here? What do you think her bond was set at?
Oh God, this is the dumbest thing, because it's either like $4 or 40,000.
Yeah.
Like there's never anything in between. I'm gonna go with a nice round, like I don't know, like 15,000.
Nope. Her final bond was set at $4,650.
Where's the $50?
Yeah,
it's because she pushed.
She pushed and pulled and tensed.
She pushed and pulled and tensed.
That's a $50.
$50
tense.
$50. Oh, that brace is $10. Oh, you tensed. That's another 10.
Again,
how do they get the 50?
We got to get a bond I don't know. We got to get a judge. I don't know. We need to call somebody.
I want to see it go all the way down to cents, though.
We've had that before.
Have we?
Yeah. Like it's like, how did they come up with this?
Yeah, I don't.
Is it like a bill? Like you have three charges. Dot.
Yeah, it must be itemized.
Like charged with criminal mischief, 4,000. Battery on a law enforcement officer, 6,000. Resisting an officer, $50. Like
it must.
I want to see like a.
I want to see an itemized invoice.
Yes.
Of the charges and how they come to this bail amount.
Yeah.
So it was $4,000.
$4,650.
Yeah.
According to the news report here.
That's so odd.
So,
just round it off. Just round it off. Because you only pay 10%. Which means she's only paying $465.
Yep.
Right? That's math.
Right, that's math. Correct.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I want to see like I want to see an itemized invoice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, let's call I don't know. We got to call a judge or something. I want to see that. All right. How about this? We got time. One more Florida odd news story
Let's
here.
do it.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Well, you said you wanted somebody to be naked, so here you go. Naked Florida man. Why not?
There we go. We got it.
This is the one you want.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
A elderly man was arrested after he exposed himself to two teenage girls and jumped in a lake to try and avoid arrest.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
What do you think? This is a video game? If you jump in the water, the cops just stop?
Yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you just jump in the water, the cops are like, oh, I don't know where he went.
Where'd he go?
Yeah.
Houdini, this one.
I loved games back in like the PlayStation 2 era. You jumped in the water, you were basically invincible.
Dead.
Or dead. Right. Water's either you immediately die because it's like lava or poison or whatever, or acid.
Grand Theft Auto 3, if you jumped in the river, you died.
You just die.
He couldn't swim. Claude couldn't swim, yeah.
But in Grand Theft Auto 4, could you swim and could the cops chase you?
Yeah, I think after Vice City you could swim.
Okay. But could the cops chase you?
Yes, because they had boats and stuff.
Because in Driver, have you ever played the Driver games where in the third one and the second, I think there was a little bit of on foot gameplay. If the cops were chasing you, you could jump in the water and they couldn't follow you. So they would just like wait patiently on the shoreline for you to like come back.
He's got to come up sooner or later.
He's got to come up for breath eventually.
Well, this story here, we're going to talk about 74-year-old Victor Nieves Mendez. What a name.
Oh, I like that name.
Yep.
It kind of rhymes, Nieves Mendez.
Yeah, Nieves Mendez. That's a hell of a name. There's his mugshot. he looks confused.
He looks like shocked. He's like, where am I? What's happening? Why am I naked? Oh, wait, that's right. I did that.
Yeah. He was arrested by Claremont police after he exposed himself to two 13-year-old girls.
Oh, no.
Before jumping into Lake Minola and hiding under a boat.
Oh, my God. He literally is a video game character.
I'm going to hide underneath this boat.
The world.
That'll do the trick.
Like
underneath
nobody,
the boat.
Like what? Like he thinks nobody saw him do that?
Ha-ha!
Haha! I'm invisible. Also, 2 13-year-old
That
girls.
wasn't
man.
me. I've been under this boat the entire time.
Yeah, right? That was.
I love this boat.
But is he also still naked and hiding? It's going to be kind of hard to prove your innocence when you're actively naked.
According to the police, the 2 girls were standing near the water when Nieves Mendez exposed his genitals. The 2 witnesses called the police. When the police arrived on the scene, he then jumped into the lake. So
they saw him jump in the lake.
Wait, you got to do it before the police arrive.
How long was he hanging out there?
Yeah, just hanging out.
So the girls call the police. They don't just teleport there immediately. It takes them, some time.
They might have been nearby.
I mean,
but
maybe.
yeah, there still would be like a couple minutes of awkwardness.
He's just flapping around. He's like, woo, woo, look at me, look at me. The cops show up, and then he jumps into the water. They saw you jump in. You can't hide from them under a boat when they're watching you hide.
Yeah.
He's like a child. You ever see a child play like hide and seek? They like pull a blanket over their head while you're actively watching them. You're like, kid.
Yeah, you got to wait till...
You got to wait till the eyes are closed. Or
right.
the cop, you got to do it before the cops show up.
Yep. Police then captured him underneath the boat. When asked if he had exposed himself intentionally, Nieves Mendez said he wasn't sure. Then later on, they asked him again, and he said, "Oh, I was just stretching." Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You know.
You need to be naked to stretch?
I'm stretching, and, whoops, the pants fell down. I don't know what to tell you.
Just, one of the belt happened to be loose. I don't know,
And then I had to go swim.
I had to go swim,
Yeah.
specifically under that boat.
Right. That boat was very important.
That's right.
I love that boat.
I love that boat.
I got to go check that boat out.
I had to be so close to that boat.
I was stretching. A unique excuse, if you will.
So he just stretched and his clothes just like exploded off of him.
I was doing so good of a stretch. I lost weight right then and there, and the pants just fell down.
That's impressive. That's some really impressive stretching.
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
Yeah, I
was stretching.
I was stretching.
Is this argument that because he was stretching, he needed to be naked, or that when he stretched, the clothes fell off of him?
I think it's the latter. I think it's
when
the
he
latter.
stretched, his clothes fell off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
That seems kind of flimsy.
Yeah.
I've never been in a situation where I just stretch and my clothes just start falling off of me.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa, how did that happen? Like his pants and his underwear and like everything. Maybe he wasn't wearing underwear. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just seems very suspicious.
Well, nevertheless, he was charged with exposure of sexual organs. I thought you would like that one.
I always like that charge. The exposure of sex. Just say penis.
No, we have to be formal here. This is the Florida police.
That's right.
Exposure of sexual organs. And there you go. That will wrap it up. That's what I have for you this week in the non-fortune cookie odd news. Double the Florida stories. Why not?
Nice. Double dip.
Double dip. Literally, well, one of them was a dip.
Yeah.
So there you go. You got one dip and...
Dip and a dent.
Dip and dent.
Because the lady was denting the cars with the rock, so it's a dip and dent, or a dent and dip.
There you go. Dip and dent. I like that.
I like it.
There you go.
Sure.
Sounds like it should be an ice cream flavor.
Right? Or like an ice cream shop, like an old school, like
Dip and
1950s, a dip and dent. Ah, you want a dip and dent? See? And you just you're scooping it out.
Yeah. Come on, child. See? Yeah, here we go.
I don't know, 1920s bank robbers scooping out ice cream in the 1950s.
Come on over here.
I
see?
have my own multiversal shared universe.
The dip is like the hot fudge or something that they dip the ice cream
I was thinking
in.
hand dipped, because that's what they call it, hand dipped ice cream. And you get the hard,
then
hard serve.
the dent is
what's the dent?
Fudge.
Sure, dip and dent.
Dip and dent. I like
it.
Can we call Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah, they always have weird names.
Or some local creamery up. We want to make this a real thing. Dip and dent.
Dip and dent. Yeah,
I like it.
I like it too. It's got like a nice little bounce.
Yeah,
out of the mouth. It's dip and dent.
I'll have a dip and dent.
Yeah, I'll have one dip and dent.
It flows.
Dip and dent.
I'll have a dip and dent.
It'll be
I like it.
And you could do like dip N
Yeah.
Dent, like just the N, like Guns N' Roses.
Right.
Dippin' Dent.
Dippin' Dent.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. We're business ideas here on the Crispy Noodle.
The ideas are just flowing.
There
They're
you
just
go.
flowing.
So if any ice cream creamery wants to use that idea, copyright the Crispy Noodle.
That's right. We got it.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Right. You got to at least cut us in.
Yeah, free ice cream.
We want free ice.
For life.
We just want free ice cream.
I don't even want to be paid. I just want ice cream.
Yeah, we're not, demanding.
We're simple guys.
Yeah, just give us ice cream. That's
just
all
want
we
the
want.
Dippin' Dent.
Dippin' Dent. That's
Give me
what
the
we
Dippin'
just
Dent.
give us the damn Dippin' Dent.
The damn Dippin' Dent.
Damn Dippin' Dent. Give that to us. All right, we have too much alliteration. We have too much ice cream in our systems. We got to start wrapping up this episode. Thank you guys for listening and supporting us here at the Crispy Noodle. If you like what you heard, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, that you're following us on Facebook, and soon to come, we're going to have the video podcast on Spotify.
Nice. So, plenty of places to find the Crispy Noodle podcast. You can also get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, and odd news stories. You can find us there. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. You can find us on Twitter, on Instagram. Let us know what stories you want us to talk about on next week's podcast. If we use an idea that you send, we'll give you a Crispy Noodle sausage shout out.
Highly coveted.
Yeah, it's highly coveted. We have, we have various ways that you can interact with the show. Leave a comment, leave a like, whatever way that you use to
What do YouTubers say? Make sure you hit that bell, and then they point like right here.
Yeah, and they have like a little graphic that shows up. I don't know.
We haven't gotten that yet.
No,
but still click the bell wherever it is.
We trust you.
Look, you're smart. You'll find it.
You can figure it out.
You listen to the Crispy Noodle. You're intelligent.
Right. You're better than these Florida odd news stories.
Exactly. It's a very low bar to clear, and you guys have soared over it.
Yeah, you're better than the Dippin' Dent.
The Dippin' Dent.
Yeah. But for this moment, we got to start wrapping it up. This has been the Crispy Noodle podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. I think that will do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine people.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.